Up next at 160 pounds is Geordan Speiller taking on Kevin Beazley.
Geordan Speiller from Florida, Oviedo High School in Central Florida. Won states for my second time this year. Looking to win it this year, Flow Nationals. So I'm ready. One eye, but I'm still ready.
Hi, I'm Kevin Beazley. I'm from Detroit Catholic Central High School, Michigan. I'm wrestling 160 in the finals today.
We're going to pick up action going into the second period at 160 pounds. It was scoreless first. That's Geordan Speiller from Florida taking on Kevin Beazley from Michigan.
Speiller, our second wrestler from Oviedo, Florida, who's made the trip all the way up here. We saw Doug Valero win a title at heavyweight. Speiller would like to join his teammate by winning a championship at 160.
And that's Speiller underneath with the banged up head. He got a nasty black eye in the first match of the tournament. Been wrestling with that bandage ever since. And he gets a reversal early in the second period. Nicely done by Speiller. He's going to go up 2-0 in that riding time. Going down in 10 seconds, we'll start going up with the red. And he's going to start to, he's doing a nice job riding here.
Both these guys 11th graders, so another match a lot of college coaches are going to have their eye on. High-level kids competing in the finals of a national-level competition. So far, Speiller has the edge with that reversal.
And a one-point escape for Beazley makes it 2-1 with a minute 25 to go here in the second period. And a hand fight battle going to come back and take place. We saw a lot of that in the first period.
It's been a kind of a slugfest here early, a lot of ties on our feet. You know, the whole first was tie-ups, little fake, and it's been a lot of that so far in the second. The only offensive points so far has been Matt racing.
There's those fakes and those headbangs you've been talking about.
Not a ton of offense from these two guys.
Oh, there's some offensive try. Anyways, an inside trip attempt by Speiller, and we're going to scoot out of bounds and go back to the center, get a start with 45 seconds to go here in the second period. Speiller with a 2-1 lead.
And he also will have the advantage of getting choice in the third. I'm sorry, it'll be Beazley's choice in the third period. Speiller started the period under, got the reversal. Not a lot of riding time to speak because he has Beazley has 0.2 seconds of it, so that's not going to really factor in, barring a takedown and some developments that we haven't seen so far from these two wrestlers on their feet.
And may not be a takedown that somebody needs to win this one now as it's 2-1. We'll see. And there's that inside trip again. As I say, no takedown. Speiller gets the 2-point takedown on a beautiful inside trip. That's such a pretty move. I love to see inside trips. They're fun. And he goes up 4-1. Short time, as you were talking about earlier in the broadcast, scoring at the end of the period is huge.
And particularly because didn't give Beazley enough time to escape, so it's almost like tacking an extra point on the board for Speiller. We saw him attempt that inside trip earlier in the period, missed on it, but it was one of those things, you feel it out, see if you can hit it, and then there went right to it.
And that's what you talk about feel, you know, with that eye banged up on the right side, he probably has to wrestle with feel a little bit more, as, you know, I'm sure his vision's a little bit distorted there.
Yeah, a little suspect when you have a welt the size of it.
Oh, a golf ball? Yeah, maybe bigger. So there's the 1-point escape for Beazley, makes it 4-2. Speiller leading here in the third period. And Speiller on the leg, Beazley on the leg, on the edge. He keeps that toe in bounds, so action will continue. But Speiller scoots into the chairs on the mat next to it, so they're going to have to.
Smart enough and in good enough position to know when it's time to bail.
Yep.
And he, with a 2-point lead in the last 90 seconds here, can afford to be a little defensive, not put himself in bad position, and he's going to win this match. Beazley, on the other hand, is going to try and ramp this pace up to 11.
Yeah, he needs to throw the kitchen sink at him and get something going here, an overhook.
And so far just hasn't been able to create anything off Speiller's defense.
We're going to come back to the center. Minute 12 to go. We see Speiller's coach shouting some instructions to him. It's working because these Oviedo, Florida guys are doing great things here at Flow Nationals.
Florida, not a state that is traditionally regarded as a wrestling powerhouse, but there's a couple programs, Oviedo, Brandon, that can go with anyone in the country. We've seen that from these Oviedo kids who have flown up here this weekend.
And we're starting to see the South in general kind of start to rise in their level of wrestling as we see Speiller hit for stalling as they go out of bounds. His first stall call. Next one will be a point for Beazley.
And you're right, we've had a great showing from the South this weekend. A lot of kids from Georgia made the trip up. Florida kids have made the trip up. It's expanding to that region a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to see the sport growing. The more wrestling, the better. And a high single attempt, they go out of bounds again. Speiller up by 2, 37 seconds between him and a Flow Nationals title.
And what I like about that high single attempt is probably not going to score with it, but he puts that in the official's mind, especially since he has the stall warning against him. You need that kind of specter of activity.
Absolutely.
And that buys him another 20 seconds of being defensive.
Yep, and it's a safe. You know, he's not going to get himself in trouble by taking a shot and getting scored on. He's trying to snatch the leg. If he doesn't get it, no big deal.
And then 19 seconds left. Beazley's going to have to really go and hasn't been able to really break it in his hand fight. Spiller hasn't been on motion, doesn't fight there. Now again in a tie. And Spiller
Going to hang on to this front headlock as long as they'll let him. And he backs up. He can back up again. He can turn around and run away if he wants. This one is over. Your Flow Nationals champion at 106 pounds and excited Geordan Speiller from Oviedo, Florida. Nicely done. He wins this one 4-2. And he is your 2011 Flow Nationals champ. Congratulations to Geordan Speiller. And we will be right back after this on Fox College Sports.